All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a huge paradox that's sitting right at the heart of the AI revolution. You see, companies pouring billions, literally billions of dollars into artificial intelligence. But here's the crazy part. Most of them aren't seeing the payoff they expected. And the reason why? Well, it's probably not what you think, because it has almost nothing to do with the tech itself. So I gotta ask you, is your company really, truly getting its money's worth from AI? I mean, think about it. It's the question every single leader is wrestling with right now. Because while the hype around AI is absolutely massive, the reality on the ground for most businesses, well, it's a completely different story.
And when I say different, I mean it's kind of shocking. According to a huge global study by the Boston Consulting Group, only 5%, yeah, just 5, of companies are actually seeing substantial financial gains from all their AI efforts. That's it, 1 out of 20. So what gives? How can all this money be flowing in, but so little real success is coming out? Well, the answer isn't in the code. It's not in the algorithms, and it's not about having more processing power. Nope, it's all about the people. And this brings us to what BCG has started calling AI's 70% people problem. The core idea here is that the biggest barrier to getting AI right, and by the way, the biggest opportunity, it isn't the technology, it's the humans who are actually supposed to use it. To really get why, you just have to look at where the value really comes from. BCG's research found this super consistent 10-20-70 rule. So get this, only about 10% of the value you get from AI comes from the fancy algorithms. Another 20% comes from your tech stack. But the other 70%, the massive, game-changing majority, that is only unlocked when you change how people work and completely redesign your business processes. So what's actually inside that big 70%? It is so much more than just a few training workshops. We're talking about a full, top-to-bottom transformation. It means getting all your leaders on the same page, driving real changes in behavior across the whole workforce, and deeply understanding how AI is going to impact jobs and skills. And ultimately, it means building a whole new way of operating your business with AI right at the core. It's a huge undertaking. And while so many companies are struggling with that huge undertaking, their employees, they are not waiting around. They're not waiting for some grand strategy to be handed down from the top. They are taking matters into their own hands. In fact, a recent report from Microsoft found that a staggering 75% of knowledge workers, that's 3 out of every 4, are already using AI at work. So this idea of AI adoption isn't some future goal. It's happening right now, today, organically, from the bottom up. But here is the major twist. That same study found that 78% of these employees are bringing their own AI tools to work. This is the rise of what's being called shadow AI. It's all the unofficial, unapproved tools that IT departments have no idea about. Now, for sure, that is a huge security risk, but it also reveals something incredible, a massive untapped hunger from employees to innovate and learn. You've probably heard this saying, and it just perfectly captures the feeling on the ground. Employees get it. They know that mastering AI is critical for their careers. They feel the urgency, and they're not waiting for permission. So the real question for leaders isn't if they should adopt AI, it's how to harness all of this bottom-up energy before it turns into a liability. So how do you do that? How do you harness that energy? Well, you don't fight shadow AI, you give it a purpose. The smartest companies out there are building a playbook to channel all that momentum, and the strategy is called skills intelligence. The core idea here is really simple, but it's also pretty revolutionary. You stop managing people based on their job titles, and you start understanding them based on their capabilities. Skills intelligence is all about creating a dynamic, real-time map of what your people can actually do, and exposing all the hidden talents and potential you have across your entire organization. Let's see how this works in the real world. Just take IBM. They needed to pivot their massive workforce toward cloud computing. The old way of doing that would be mass layoffs and then spending a fortune on external hiring. Instead, they used an AI-powered platform to find their own employees who had adjacent skills. They retrained them, and they moved thousands of people into new, high-demand roles. They didn't just save millions. They invested in their own people. Or look at Unilever. They created this transparent internal marketplace that matches people to projects based on their skills, not just what team they're on or who they know. And the result was incredible. Internal mobility shot up by 30%, hiring costs went down, and they discovered all this amazing talent that was previously just hidden away. And listen, this isn't just for knowledge workers either. The manufacturing giant Siemens used this exact playbook for Industry 4.0. They built what they called skill bridges to help factory workers transition into new digital roles. And the payoff was huge. Their new smart facilities reached full productivity, a stunning 40% faster than the ones that just relied on new hires. But here's the thing, building a skills-first strategy isn't just about getting more out of today's AI tools. It's really about preparing your entire organization for what's coming right around the corner. We're talking about the next massive leap in AI, and people are calling it the agent era.
So, what is an AI agent? Well, think of it like a huge upgrade from the co-pilots and assistants we're using today. An agent is an autonomous system. You can give it a goal, and it can reason through the steps, make decisions, and then take action across a bunch of different apps to get it done, all without needing you to constantly guide it.
Now, the scale of this shift is really hard to overstate. Just listen to this. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, he predicts that in this new era, the very idea of having separate business applications is just gonna collapse. Instead of us logging into a dozen different apps, AI agents will become the main way we get work done.
Think about how fundamentally different that is. Right now, you are the one navigating between apps, clicking through all these rigid workflows. In the agent era, you just state a goal. The agent then orchestrates everything across all the systems it needs to achieve that goal. For the first time, software is actually going to work for you, not the other way around.
And this brings us to the final critical question that this whole transformation forces all of us to confront. If the routine, repeatable tasks that make up so much of our work can be automated by AI agents, what is left for us? What becomes the uniquely human contribution in a world where agents do the doing? That's the challenge and the opportunity for all of us to figure out.